NJN News.
To ride or not to ride? That was the question today as the annual Chamber of Commerce trip to Washington took off. Republican gubernatorial candidates slammed the 72-year-old tradition, saying it's more schmooze than substance. But the trip still drew a faithful crowd from both sides of the aisle. Marie Denoya Aronson takes us for the ride.
An hour before the chamber train made tracks, dozens of political and corporate players were making connections at what has become another annual tradition, the Verizon breakfast in Newark. Notable here, the many who said yes to the breakfast, but no to the train trip.
We won't be riding the train today, but we're here to support our partners who are riding the train. We want to keep our resources on the home base.
And that was something of a theme, those choosing not to be there. Republican gubernatorial candidates Chris Christie, Steve Lonegan, Richard Merck, and Brian Levine all took a pass. 3 characterized the trip as being symbolic of what is wrong with New Jersey politics. Too many lobbyists getting the ear of too many lawmakers.
It's not just lobbyists and politicians. Look around the room. There's people from nonprofit organizations, economic development organizations. There's a huge body of people here with a lot of different interests, and I think that's good.
Have fun on the trip, get a lot of good ideas, create a few jobs. We're going to give you $3,000 for each one of those jobs you create, so let's go to work. God bless you.
And Governor Corzine, kicking into re-election mode, was clear about his view on the trip, cutting up with former Governor Brendan Byrne.
After 52 of these, it starts to get there. Yeah.
He's probably been persuaded. His whole mind is warped by the exercise.
All aboard!
And Corzine had plenty of company on board and sharing his opinion. Chamber of Commerce President Joan Verplank took exception with the negative comments about the chamber-sponsored trip.
I find it very disappointing because really this is a trip for business people to make contacts with other business people, for the elected folks to get to know their constituents, and to hear firsthand from the horse's mouths, from a person who owns the company, what the issues are in New Jersey.
I think the idea that you just criticize things for, frankly, just the ability to criticize really talks about, I believe, a lack of vision for those folks.
It's a networking opportunity. You get to see a lot of nice people. You get to know them, and frankly, they want to see us. We have to be accessible. And I think both on the Republican and Democratic side, people that are in the legislature have an obligation to meet with these people once in a while.
I have always found this trip to be very helpful in talking to the business community. It's an informal setting where you have conversations with people from across all different trades, and frankly, you know, I'm out there a lot with my constituents, but you always don't get that one-on-one time.
Love it or criticize it, the chamber trip to Washington is a Jersey institution. This is the 72nd year, and so much of the mingling and networking that's supposed to take place over the 2-day trip actually happens right now on the way down.
There's no place else to go. While I do go to the dinner in the evening, some other folks may go to other restaurants, and Washington's a big city, so you get a diffusion effect that can't happen on the train. It's a little tough to stay standing, but the conversations are good.
About 1,000 people rode the charter train. Many commented on the thinner-than-usual crowd and an apparent lack of lightheartedness, all attributed to the current tough economic times and an anticipated rough ride down the line. Marie Denoya Aronson, NJN News, aboard the chamber train.
And tonight, Governor Corzine and New Jersey's U.S. senators will address the New Jersey politicians and business leaders at the chamber dinner. Tomorrow night, NJN News will report on that event.